What's going on, guys? This is my first video back in a little bit. Got something really fun to do. Hopefully I can get this done within the next couple days, but we're gonna be working on putting a built L20B engine in my brother's 1978 Datsun 620. I don't think I've shown you guys this truck before. It's been under this cover. This is a deluxe truck, so it came with disc brakes and all that. It's already starting to rain, I think. It hasn't been super nice out for a while, so I've been kind of putting it off, but show you guys the truck real quick. Just get it out of the cover. It's got no motor in it, obviously. This truck is it's in really good condition for what it is. I have to air up the back tire because it's flat, but we're gonna be using that four-wheeler to pull it in and get started on it. Before I start like putting the motor in and everything though, I'm gonna clean the engine bay out best I can with degreaser and mask a bunch of stuff off. Rattle can the front of the frame black because it looks a little gross. This just has a 4-speed tranny in it. We want to put a 5-speed in, but right now I just want to get the motor in. We can do a 5-speed later, which is no big deal, but here it is. This thing is amazing. Right next to my Z, which has also been outside. Yeah, guys, let's get this thing pulled in. All right, guys, so I need to get a tripod. Right now I'm using one of those like really tall jack stands to hold my GoPro, but it's gonna work for now. And just like that, guys, here we are. Truck is in. I'm soaked. It like started raining hard. I checked the weather. I kind of figured it was gonna rain, but it just started like downpouring. So I'm all wet. The truck is soaked. It wasn't like less than 10 minutes ago. But if it weren't for this four-wheeler, we wouldn't have got this thing in so easily. I could have used the Isuzu. I once pulled my 240 in here with the Isuzu and it worked out pretty well. So here it is though. This truck is absolutely beautiful. My brother got really lucky. It's hard to come by them in this good of shape. And got the really cool late 70s, 80s striping on it. And we have these wheels on it right now that match the striping pretty well. Yeah. Stock wheels in the back. Interior is pretty nice. These seats are reupholstered, they're brand new. Yep, this truck is really nice. It's got a little bit of rust, but you know what Datsun doesn't for, I don't know, a good price. Truck's in, as you guys saw. About to show you the motor. This is the motor here. This is an L20B. These are Weber 40s. They might have to come off when I put the motor in the truck. My dad helped me wrap this the other night too. The header with heat wrap. It looks pretty cool. Should help with heat for the carburetors. So on these motors, we got intake and exhaust on the same side. So a lot of times the exhaust will heat up those carburetors. But yeah, here it is. I'm gonna get the hood off real quick and we'll start cleaning. Just set the hood right here. Here's the bay. It's a little grimy, but not too bad. There's the 4-speed. I just got it held up right now on the torsion bars with the ratchet strap so it wouldn't drag. The training mount is still bolted in. Yeah, we're gonna start degreasing and cleaning this thing up. I'll be using Super Clean to get all the grease out and grime. If you guys have watched some of my previous videos, this is my favorite stuff. Works better than most degreasers that I have found. So yeah, I'll be using this. I'm just gonna start spraying everything down. You can already see it doing its job. Dirt is dripping down. And then we got right underneath here, this is why I pulled the truck right here, we got a drain right there. So I should be able to get the hose and kind of just spray it down a little bit. That right there, all that like black stuff is like undercoating, I think. It scrapes off pretty well. I bought 3M adhesive remover, and I'm gonna see if that kind of helps get it off if the Super Clean doesn't. So far I got everything cleaned up the best I can right now. All that like undercoating stuff is gone. Super Clean worked out pretty well, and I used a detailing brush. Just kind of letting it dry off right now. I got the cherry picker out, engine stand right here, and I got clutch and flywheel on the floor right here. So now what we're gonna do is grab the cherry picker and lift the motor, get the motor off of the engine stand, and then we will the clutch and flywheel on. After that, we should be able to start putting the motor in, which is super exciting. It looks really good. I'm also going to be running a little catch can off the valve cover. That's what this fitting is for. All right, so I got the motor ready to be lifted. Got my awesome seat belt ready to lift this motor up. And I did end up taking the 2 Webers off. They're just sitting right over here. Just didn't want to damage them when I'm lifting the motor, and I think it'll be a little easier to put it in the engine bay with those off because of the brake booster and brake master cylinder. And just like that, the motor's free. Slide this out of the way. Now we should be ready to put the clutch and flywheel on. And at this point, I'm gonna lower the motor a little bit closer to the ground. All right, flywheel's on, torque down to 110 foot-pounds. And I almost forgot this backing plate, but I didn't. I got it in. That goes on first, then the flywheel, and now the clutch, which I'm gonna be torquing down to 15 foot-pounds. Flywheel is on. Just gotta double check the torquing real quick. Now I can pull this thing out. Don't forget to put these in when you're putting a clutch on. Don't forget to slide that in first before, so everything's aligned perfectly. Now I should be good to bring the motor and lift it in slowly, being careful that I don't scratch anything or damage anything. Alright, so it's the next day. I had quite a bit of issues last night getting the motor in bolted up to the transmission. It took me a while, so I ended up asking for some help. So we had to take out the drive shaft, move the transmission back a little bit, and then we put the motor in place first and then move the transmission forward. And this is pretty much where I'm at. Still got to put the radiator in, hook up the hoses, fuel line, carburetor's back on, and then I can hook up the exhaust down there. And then we're going to be running a catch can setup on this truck too. So we'll have a 90-degree elbow from here. It'll come around, and then it's going to come to this oil catch can that I used a pre-existing hole to bolt this in. So okay, so first thing I'm going to do is hook up this lower water neck here. Got a brand new gasket for it. So I got that lower water neck all tightened up with the new gasket. And now I'm gonna install the radiator, and we got an electric fan set up for this radiator. And it's got the heat switch as well, so fans kick on when it gets a certain temp. Radiator's in. Got the bottom hose all connected. Fans were on there before. Now I can connect the top hose, which is right over here. So next I got the carburetors. Gonna throw those on real quick, and then we'll be pretty close. Got a new clutch slave cylinder that I got to install because the old one blew out. So alright guys, so I got a little bit carried away. I got a bunch of stuff done on it off camera. Well, plus my GoPro was about to die, so I've been charging it. But I got the throttle cable in, all the wiring is hooked up. Fuel line's not hooked up yet. I got the starter hooked up already. You can see the wiring on the back of the alternator. So there's really not much left we have to do to be able to crank this thing over, guys. So first, what we have to do is hook up the fuel line, which capped this off with a little stubby screwdriver before. So I gotta hook this up, and for right now, I will be using, at some point, I'll be using braided fuel line, but for now, just to get this thing started, I'm gonna be using this. This is what I have. So I'm gonna route it from here, and it's just gonna go back here for now, because this is where it goes to the carburetors. So we'll get that hooked up. At some point, I also might flip these around to where the fuel line's coming this way, maybe make a better loop to the fuel pump. But like I said, this is just for now. This will work great. All right, so I got the fuel line hooked up. As you can see, it's just kind of dangling here for now. So on this truck, once I already mentioned, I'm gonna do oil catch can, so I'm gonna be hooking that up. What I'm gonna do, well, first I got this 10N or AN fitting, however you guys want to say it. This is from Z Car Depot. It's for this motor. It screws right into the top. And then I got an L fitting that's gonna come this way. I'm gonna wrap it around here and go down into the oil catch can, which I've mounted right there. All right, so I set my camera up on a tripod so you guys can see me do this. How I'm gonna do it. Let's get it. Okay, first of all, here's this L bracket that I was talking, or this elbow 90-degree fitting that I bought separately on eBay. All the line that I have came with the oil catch can, and the rest of the fittings came with it, which I got on eBay. I'll post a link in the description for you guys if you want to know where I got it. But first of all, this is gonna screw right on top here. All right, and a quick tip for you guys: when you are tightening down your fittings, if you don't want to scratch them up, a good way to keep them not scratched up is a bit of masking tape on the inside of your wrench, both sides. Helps it out a little bit. It's better than nothing, that's for sure. And you can still be gentle with it, obviously, but it, like I said, it's better than nothing. Then you'll just tighten the fitting down, get it nice and snug. Okay, and now for this part here, I already pre-cut my braided line. It comes with these fittings. Like this one would look like this. It comes together like this. When you are cutting your braided line, make sure you tape it. And I used a grinder and I just chopped it because it's got metal in it, and you don't want it to fray, so you tape it. And then you slide this over the top, this piece first. You screw this fitting on there and you tighten it, and it's a compression fitting, so you won't have any leaks whatsoever. Fittings are on. I did nick it a tiny bit with my other wrench, but that's okay. They still look pretty good compared to what I would have had without taping them. Now what I'm gonna do, and oh yeah, and this piece is for that catch can area. I'm putting a 90 down there. And then another thing, guys, is the little fitting on the top of the valve cover. I'm gonna put the link in the description. If anyone wants that, who has an L series engine, it'll work for any L series, whether it's an inline 6 or 4. Works on all the Z's with L series, and then all the Datsun trucks with the L series. So yeah, I'm just gonna slide this back through here very carefully. Wrap it around, tighten this on, and then being this oil catch can has 2 ports, I'll have to get a plug for the bottom one. Tighten this down now, and just like that, the oil catch can is installed with the line. Goes all the way around behind that and into the catch can, and then there's a little port down at the underneath that one that I'll need to get a plug, but there's that. Next thing that I'm gonna do is install the plug wires. I got NGK plug wires, the best. I already have this thing at top dead center, so all I gotta do is pop the distributor cap, look whatever way the rotor is facing, which in this case it's this one here, so this will be number 1. Then you'll get the firing order and go around the loop until they're all plugged in. Alright, so now we're on to filling the fluids. We gotta put in coolant and brand new oil. For oil, we're using Mobil 1 full synthetic 1030, and then we're just gonna use 50/50 coolant for this. So yeah, let's get to filling. All right, so I just have to say, the truck is basically done. Looks super cool. I did have a little bit of trouble getting the ignition timing correct with these carburetors. Just let me show you guys something really quick. I did get the truck running, but like I said, I did it off camera. I won't be test driving it because I still need to bleed the clutch, and I'm probably gonna do that in a different video when I finish making the exhaust. It's a straight pipe right now, so it's pretty loud, raspy, and annoying. But just let me show you guys this. bit of fine tuning, but guys, it's running. It sounds good. In the next video, I will be taking this thing for a first test drive since putting the motor in, along with bleeding the clutch and possibly kind of finishing the exhaust, but not sure on that yet. But hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Stay tuned for more content on this truck. There's still a lot to do. But yeah, thanks for watching.